Virginia Fresh Match doubles the value of SNAP, enabling families to get additional fresh fruits and vegetables for a healthier diet. As we start another season of making locally grown fruits and vegetables more affordable and accessible, we really appreciate the opportunity to highlight Virginia Fresh Match's achievements and look to future growth, and to thank our partners and supporters. First, a few quick housekeeping details. Please mute yourself, and that way we won't have any background noise. Second, please introduce yourself in the chat. We really are eager to know who's in the room with us. And finally, please drop any questions that you might have into the chat, and we'll have time for a brief Q&A at the end. A recording of the session of this session today will be available on LEAP's YouTube channel by the end of today. So to get started, Maureen is going to talk through a recap of Virginia Fresh Match impacts and how the network has evolved. Take it away, Maureen.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Really happy to be here. So my name is Maureen McNamara-Best. I'm the Executive Director with LEAP, Local Environmental Agriculture Project. We are based in Roanoke, Virginia, and we provide some backbone support for Virginia Fresh Match. So Virginia Fresh Match is a statewide success story that really started at the community level, and it's continued to grow based on feedback from the community and really based on grassroots support with additional support from regional partners and state partners. And VFM supports Virginia agriculture. Every dollar of incentives goes from a customer's hand into a farmer's pocket. In 2021, for example, VFM worked with over 550 farmers in Virginia, connecting them with both the federal benefit income from SNAP and also the income from the Virginia Fresh Match incentives. And VFM encourages the federal benefit dollars to be spent with local farmers, and it also helps keep those dollars circulating in the local economy. VFM currently has over 90 partners in every region of the state, and the partners include farmers markets, which is where Virginia Fresh Match began, and mobile farmers markets, farm stands, rural general stores, and community-based grocery retailers. Virginia Fresh Match and related sales, so that includes the SNAP and the match, at these outlets totaled over $1.3 million in 2021, and the incentives in 2021 represent a 90% increase over 2020. Virginia Fresh Match brings additional sales to these outlets. The incentives sales per outlet really range from a couple $100 to up to $70,000 a year. So for a small general store, or farm stand, or farmers market vendor, these are real sales numbers that account for a significant percentage of annual sales. Over the past 4 years, Virginia Fresh Match has secured $4 million in federal USDA and private foundation funding to support the continued development and growth of the program. And Virginia Fresh Match works with food access partners across the state to really foster affordable food access and support local agriculture. And these types of partnerships require multi-scale, multi-partner, food system-wide approach. COVID had and continues to have an impact on our network. Working with partners like Cooperative Extension and Virginia Farmers Market Association, the farmers markets in particular were able to respond quickly and to maintain food access programs across the whole state at the community level. The challenges of COVID reinforce the value of the network and how we support one another through peer-to-peer learning, shared resources, and collective funding for incentives. Virginia Fresh Match's impact happens at the community level, individual, and farmer level, and we'll show a short video so you can hear from our partners and customers directly.
Virginia Fresh Match is a statewide nutrition incentive program that doubles the value of SNAP benefits at participating farmers markets and community retailers. With Virginia Fresh Match, families bring home more fresh, locally grown fruits and vegetables for a healthier diet. Without this support, fresh produce is a luxury that many cannot afford. By accepting SNAP and offering Virginia Fresh Match, farmers markets and community retailers gain new customers and farmers earn more income.
It has been absolutely crucial for me to be able to use EBT and be able to double the value that I get, particularly for fresh fruits and vegetables.
I go into communities where children or these families are diabetics, and this is changing their view, it's changing their palates, it's changing their health, and it's all because we are now able to double their dollars and get them quality food.
For people like myself who have heart problems, hypertension, they want you to be on a healthier diet that includes fresh fruits and vegetables, and we really don't get that at the food pantry.
It has enabled us to grow our SNAP program exponentially and also be able to reach many new customers, families, children in the area.
I know that it's come in handy for so many people, and we hear that week after week as customers come through.
Not only are we able to access the adequate fresh produce, but you're helping the local food economy because these dollars are going into local producers.
It offers a way for people to try something new that otherwise might be too expensive.
And not only are they able to get the food, but they're able to double their dollars.
When I come here, I'm not only buying locally sourced food, but I also get so much more for my money. For more information, please visit virginiafreshmatch.org.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for joining us. My name is Meredith Ledley Johnson, and I am the Policy Systems and Environmental Change Programming Coordinator for Virginia Cooperative Extension's Family Nutrition Program. The Family Nutrition Program, which is funded by SNAP-Ed and FNEP, is a statewide program that teaches nutrition and basic cooking skills to limited resource Virginians, both youth and adult. Over the past 3 years, my colleague, Dr. Sarah Misyak, and I served as Virginia Fresh Match's evaluation team. Virginia Fresh Match sought to address two main areas, food security and diet quality, in a way that supports local producers and communities. To measure the impact of Virginia Fresh Match on these areas, we conducted a survey of customers both online across the state and at 25 of Virginia Fresh Match's participating farmers markets and community grocery stores. This survey was completed in the summer of 2021. We found the following. In regards to diet quality, 70% of respondents reported eating more fruit while using Virginia Fresh Match incentives, and 69% reporting eating more vegetables while using Virginia Fresh Match incentives. 85% of respondents reported that Virginia Fresh Match incentives helped their food to last when they did not have the money to buy more. This is what we use to measure Virginia Fresh Match's impact on food security status. Finally, because the program did intersect with COVID, we asked what the impact of these incentives were during this emergency, and respondents reported that they were able to purchase more fruit and vegetables of a higher quality and more variety than they would normally buy. Some comments that we got from respondents about Virginia Fresh Match include, it gave us the opportunity to eat healthy without breaking our budget. I was able to have fresher foods, and I'm trying to teach my kids to eat better. And the choices and quantity were better and more affordable. We are excited by these reported impacts of Virginia Fresh Match on Virginia's families' ability to improve their fruit and vegetable intake, stretch their food dollars, and support local producers. Remember, each of the $1.3 million spent with this program fed a Virginia family, was spent at a local market or retailer, and purchased produce grown by Virginia farmers. Back to you, Elizabeth.
Sorry. Thank you, Meredith. You can clearly see through this data how Virginia Fresh Match is making a big difference for families, farmers, and communities. As you've also seen and heard, doubling the value of SNAP for fresh fruits and vegetables is a pretty simple, effective solution that is having a big impact. This impact is driven by our network of outlets and partners, many of whom are here today. We're celebrating how the network has matured and are eager to share our vision for the next few years. One key achievement is the diversification of funding, so we can continue to support our current partners and add new outlets over the coming years. As we wrap up our initial USDA Food Insecurity Nutrition Incentive Grant, we are really grateful for the federal support we've received and that we continue to receive through the Gus Schumacher COVID Relief and Response Grant. We also have a request pending with the General Assembly for state support for Virginia Fresh Match incentives. Collective funding for incentives is really central to our network, but it's only part of the picture. Since our network came together in 2015, we've engaged in an ongoing, very iterative process to support outlets and share resources to make offering nutrition incentives easier. This is hard work, and when you're doing it alone in a parking lot, it can be kind of lonely. So we're really we connect a lot through our network to make it easier for folks to do this work. When COVID came along, we saw clearly how having that network structure in place helped keep food access programs operating and underscored the importance of collaboration. Those key learnings continue to inform our future plans as we focus on strategic planning, redefining our network operation with a shared leadership model, and building on the state work to connect and respond to growing nutrition insecurity in Virginia. This is a voluntary opt-in network of statewide partners, and we really rely on our regional lead structure to facilitate these connections at the regional and community level. Regional leads represent many of the leading local food organizations in Virginia and also strong farmers market partners who represent Virginia Fresh Match with local outlets and stakeholders. Many of these organizations are also engaged in other types of food access programs, such as mobile markets and local food distribution, all working to improve nutrition security and support local agriculture. Like any successful effort, Virginia Fresh Match absolutely doesn't work alone. One of the things we've learned over the years is how Virginia Fresh Match connects with other food and nutrition security initiatives, working in the intersection of food access, agriculture, and health. The relationship with our stakeholders and partners throughout Virginia has been and continues to be central to our success. Our many collaborative partnerships include Virginia Cooperative Extension, the Virginia Farmers Market Association, Virginia Food Access Investment Fund, the Virginia Food Access Coalition, Virginia Food System Council, and the Federation of Virginia Food Banks. We appreciate the support of state agencies, including the Virginia Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services and the Virginia Department of Social Services. We also greatly appreciate our legislative champions, such as Senator McClellan, Delegate McQuinn, and Delegate Filler-Corn. We really want to thank all of our outlet partners who work so tirelessly to improve food access in their communities, and we look forward to continuing to grow together. Also, a special thank you to Haley Miller, our terrific SNAP-Ed intern who produced the Virginia Fresh Match video that you saw. To wrap up, we hope you've seen how Virginia Fresh Match has really grown from a grassroots startup to an expanded state network, responding to COVID and the nutrition security needs of low-income Virginians, all the while connecting farmers with income from federal benefits and nutrition incentives. We hope we've demonstrated how Virginia Fresh Match is well positioned to continue to increase our impact through diversified funding, through natural partnerships, and alignment with other food security initiatives. Now we'd love to take a few questions. If you have them, please drop your questions in the chat box or raise your hand and Christina will call on you.
Okay, we've got a couple of questions. There's one from Allison. Can you tell us a bit about what you have in front of the Virginia General Assembly? Is there something we could write to advocate for that funding? And Elizabeth, I think that's your question.
Great question, Allison. Yes, we've actually done quite a bit of advocacy, reaching out to legislators at various points. Our good friends at the American Heart Association have a action alert, excuse me, that is out right now. And one of us will find that and drop it into the chat. It's a really simple way for you to reach out to legislators within your own district and show your support for Virginia Fresh Match.
There's also a question, what is the bottom line message you'd like to share with our viewers? Elizabeth, you want to take that one too?
Sure. Well, I guess the bottom line is, you know, this is a group that has been together now for quite a few years in working collectively and collaboratively to increase nutrition security through the use of nutrition incentives. We are very proud of the impact that we've had on customers and farmers and communities, and love the fact that we can now demonstrate that customer level impact on fruit and vegetable consumption. That's not easy to get to. Those numbers are quite impressive in the nutrition world when you look at the way that we've been able to increase that fruit and vegetable consumption. And we also want to make sure people understand that we're here to stay, that we're well positioned to increase our impact, and that we look forward to continuing to do this work as a team, a large and growing team, for a long time to come.
There's a question, if the market runs year round, how does the matching funding work? Do they still expire in December? Is that clear? So if a market doesn't have a market season.
So actually each individual outlet gets to sort of determine the way their incentive program works. And many of us use a token system, and those are much more difficult to expire. If you do use a coupon-based system, you can put an expiration date on them. But that is really that is up to the individual outlet, and we do have agreements with our outlets on how the funding works.
Are you and your partners also addressing the problem of food deserts with mobile distribution and farmers markets in underserved areas? Maybe Maureen wants to take that one.
Thank you. Great question, Joe. So Virginia Fresh Match provides nutrition incentives to anyone who is eligible. So an outlet has to accept SNAP, and then as long as they are interested, then we can work with them on the incentives. And a lot of our partners do have mobile farmers markets. So LEAP in Roanoke, we have a mobile farmers market. Project Grows in the Shenandoah area has one. River Street Market in Petersburg has a mobile farmers market. So we work already with a number of farmers markets. And then we also work in partnership with the Virginia Food Access Investment Fund, which is a grant-based program out of the Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services that went through and got state funding, I think 2 years ago now. And so they provide grants and technical assistance specifically to community-based organizations that are trying to do exactly that, to really work with food access challenges, to address some of the food access challenges in communities that are often underserved. And then we work with those grantees to provide Virginia Fresh Match incentives. So we can put a link to the Virginia the Food Access Investment Fund in there, and please share that with other people. I think they just closed it for this year, but there's funding available for next year also.
And Allison also shared that in Shenandoah Valley, Project Grows launched a mobile market at senior housing last season. This season, they are expanding into 2 public housing developments as well. I think Maureen mentioned Project Grows.
And Shalom Farms also has an extensive mobile market program in the capital area, and they are one of our regional leads. Hi, Erin.
There are any other questions? Also, feel free to reach out afterward if there are questions, we will work to get those answered.
Well, if there's no more questions, we just want to thank you so much for coming, joining us today. To learn more, we really encourage you to visit virginiafreshmatch.org, where you can find outlets in your area and also connect with your regional lead organization. With the market season starting soon, we definitely want to leave you with the message to encourage you to visit a participating farmers market or retail outlet that provides Virginia Fresh Match incentives. We want you to see the program in action for yourself and experience its impacts firsthand. Thanks so much.